So here's what conservatives know. They know that frames are necessary to communicate. They frame every time. They know how to communicate outside issue silos. This is really important because does anybody here like work with environmental groups? I work with environmental groups and they're terrible at this. Because, well, think about it. You have the Great Lakes people. You have the river people, riverkeeper people. You have the lower Wisconsin waterways people. You have the trout people, the white-tailed deer people. You have the anti-sand mine people. You have the anti-iron mine people. You have the CAFOs people, right?
Mountain tax removal.
And they all do different things on different issues. They use different language, and they only talk about their issue. What does that do? It weakens us. You know, the education people don't talk to the environment people, with all due respect. The labor people haven't historically communicated with other progressive groups. Sometimes education, because the two, you know, you have the public sector unions with education, and you know, and you have private sector unions and you have public sector unions. Silos. This is really important, and you probably understand this from experience, but you never said it this way. If the facts don't reflect the frame a person believes, they reject the facts to keep the frame.
That's it.
Right? There's a reason for that, and it's exactly what you're talking about. It is the sustainability of the frame itself.
Are you going to give an example of how the conservatives speak outside the silos?
Hell yes.
Because I don't buy anything.
This is why people voted for Scott Walker. They're looking for a moral connection. Did Mary Burke give people a moral connection? See, and now that the campaign is over, I can go against my promise to not publicly criticize her campaign. But did she make a moral connection with people? No. Let me get through this slide here. Just like making that path through the woods, repetition, repetition, repetition embeds frames into the brain. It's physically there. Okay, question.
I was just going to say, I really expected during the whole process of the campaign and in the final week it would be, you know, Scott's a nice guy, he's done some things, but you just can't trust the guy.
It would have been too late.
Trustworthy.
It would have been too late. I'm helping a certain mayoral candidate right now, and he started very early, and I said, you have to, even before he declared, and I said, you have to start very early. You have to frame yourself, you have to set the frame for the campaign right now before your opponent does, because he who sets the frame first sets the frame.
So that's always true, you should
Always
do
true.
that first.
The very first.
Don't count on anything.
No. And there's no magic bullet,
Okay.
which is why bumper stickers always work.
So this ties into the Adolf Hitler ideology of repeat the lie and repeat the lie often, and then they will believe it.
Absolutely.
Just
Oh,
one example of people rejecting the facts that fit the frame is about candidates. If you like a candidate and you decide you like that office holder, and you find out, or people tell you, yeah, but he doesn't agree with you on the minimum wage or immigration or whatever, they will reject those facts and say, oh, of course he must agree with me. They'll decide that the person they like agree with them on the issues, even if they factually don't.
Most importantly, what happens unconsciously is people say he knows best, or she knows best.